So, I assume that because you clicked this video you would like to make relics in my singing monsters real fast. If that's the case, you have come to the right place. As of the release of this video, Kayna farming is the most efficient way to increase your relic income. With a fully fledged Kayna farm you're going to be able to make a staggering 22 relics per day. However, note that you should only pursue Kayna farming if you are an experienced player. So don't get the idea that just because you bought your first Wabux yesterday it's now time to get a Kayna farm. On the other hand though, if you, like me, have wasted 9 years of your life collecting useless images of monsters, this strategy is definitely something you should look into, because what else is there even left for you to do in this game? Now you may ask, what even is the reason to get a Kayna farm in the first place? Well, apart from the obvious bragging rights of stacking 166 dancing volcanoes right next to each other on Amber Island, there's one great advantage that comes with relics. You can buy one of these horrific dildos. Now as much as these fellas ruin the game in pretty much every way possible, they also ruin the game strategically. However, this is something we can take advantage of for fun. Look at these statistics. If leveled up and kept at maximum happiness, a Wordo will produce approximately 400,000 coins in 15 hours. This is about as much as a Wabux makes. And now you may ask, why not just get Wabuxes then? The thing that makes Wordus so great to farm is the fact that they only take up one bed and a mere 2x2 area. This gives them the best coin production per bed and area of all the monsters in the game. The major downside with Wordus however is that they cost 100 relics to get. This problem is what the Kayna farm intends to solve. Alright, so we have cemented the reason as to why we would get all these relics, but why would one farm Kayna in particular instead of all the other Amber Island monsters? It's quite simple. Kayna is unlike all the other Amber Island monsters, always available and has an unlimited fill time, meaning you will always be able to keep filling Kayna vessels up. Kayna is also considerably cheap, costing only 5 relics each. In addition to that, the Kayna produces a fairly good amount of relics and the cost of the Kayna will be paid back in just a bit over a month. Another great advantage with Kayna is that, like the Wordus, they only take up one bed and a 2x2 area, making it very suitable for farming. Also like the Wordus, Kayna comes with a downside. It requires a vast amount of monsters in its inventory to be revitalized, and that's the reason this strategy is only feasible for experienced players, because it requires you to be able to breed lots of monsters very fast. So now let's get into the details of how exactly a Kayna farm works. With the most effective Kayna placement, Amber Island allows you to place 166 Kaynas in total. A Kayna level to the maximum level with maximum happiness generates its maximum amount of 2 relics in half a month, meaning that in turn it will produce 4 relics per month. If we calculate a bit, we can multiply this by 166 for the amount of Kaynas and then divide by 30 to get the approximate relic income for one day. That leaves us with 22 relics per day, which is an incredible income to have. With this you will be able to afford a Widow in just 5 days. As I previously mentioned however, getting Kaynas takes a lot of time. If you have the maximum breeding capacity, which means having duplicate breeding structures and nurseries that are also upgraded on each island, then also in turn log into the game twice a day, you will be able to get 1 Kayna in approximately 2 days. If we multiply this with the total amount of Kaynas, we can see that getting the full amount of Kaynas is going to take 332 days. Obviously that's an unbelievable amount of time that you would have no reason to spend on farming Kaynas. However, if you've been playing MSM for years with not much to do, this would be a great goal to work on. Personally, I'm working a Kayna farm off my own, but instead of aiming for a full Kayna farm, I'm making a combined farm. It includes the full song along with additional Kaynas. If you don't want to spend much time making a Kayna farm, this approach could be more worth it. Another plus with this approach as opposed to a full farm is that with a full farm you get leftover beds that could have been used for other higher bed count monsters that produce even more relics. With a combined farm you won't have this problem. So in the case of a Kayna farm, I actually don't recommend you to follow any breeding guide. You should preferably breed the monsters you need at full capacity at all times. However, I did create a breeding chart anyway, just in case that's your thing. Here's the breeding chart which I made. It requires maximum breeding capability and the ability to log into the game twice per day. Getting 1 Kayna this takes 2 days with this breeding chart. For interval 1. Breed 2 Endbrits on Plant Island, 2 Deeges on Cold Island, 2 Riffs on Air Island, 2 Shellbeats on Water Island, 2 Quaristas on Earth Island, 2 Clambles on Mirror Plant, 2 Bogarts on Mirror Cold, 2 T-Roxes on Mirror Air, 2 Scups on Mirror Water, 2 Pom-Poms on Mirror Earth, 2 Shrubs on Fire Haven, 2 Tweedles on Fire Oasis, 2 Furcorns on Light Island and 2 Octopuses on Psychic Island. For interval 2. The natural islands will currently be breeding the quads from the previous interval. Breed 2 Clambles on Mirror Plant, 2 Bogarts on Mirror Cold, 2 T-Roxes on Mirror Air, 2 Scups on Mirror Water, 2 Pom-Poms on Mirror Earth, 2 Shrubs on Fire Haven, 2 Tweedles on Fire Oasis, 2 Furcorns on Light Island and 2 Octopuses on Psychic Island. For interval 3 you should breed 2 Potbellies on Plant Island, 2 Dundidoos on Cold Island, 2 Subups on Air Island, 2 Subups on Water Island, 2 Dundidoos on Earth Island, 2 Clambles on Mirror Plant, 2 Bogarts on Mirror Cold, 2 T-Roxes on Mirror Air, 2 Scups on Mirror Water, 2 Pom-Poms on Mirror Earth, 2 Shrubs on Fire Haven, 2 Tweedles on Fire Oasis, 2 Furcorns on Light Island and 2 Octopuses on Psychic Island. For the last interval, breed 2 Potbellies on Plant Island, 2 Dundidoos on Cold Island, 2 Subups on Air Island, 2 Subups on Water Island, 2 Dundidoos on Earth Island, 2 Potbellies on Mirror Plant, 2 Potbellies on Mirror Cold, 2 Tweedles on Mirror Air, 2 Potbellies on Mirror Water, 2 Shrubs on Fire Haven, 2 Tweedles on Fire Oasis, 2 Furcorns on Light Island and 2 Octopuses on Psychic Island. Additionally you will need to breed 10 Noggins, Tojamas, and Mammoths for each Kayna. You can do this on any interval of your choice. I highly recommend that you use triple elemental rares instead of breeding them with quads. This is due to there being a higher risk of accidental ethereals. So, that's all I had to say in this video. I hope you found it entertaining. See you next time.